CalazCon is a show about war, obsession, colonialist occupation, and the many forms of violence those inflict. See the description for content warnings specific to this episode.
We were gonna do some interrogating, I thought.
I don't need sleep and I'm designed to guard things. This is literally my job.
I want you to be a fucking hero.
I don't have heroism in me, Michael, but you do.
Oh, hey. She opens her arms almost immediately.
Mike kind of falls through the door and is just like, I'm sorry.
How petty do I want to be?
The Serpent's Fangs are going to take the final strike on Goliath, and they are going to take the credit for it. If you accept, this will make taking down Goliath easier.
Mike's looking through this, and he says, I take it this is the collaboration that Fischl put forward?
I think that was more of a vague notion than anything material. The specifics are our own, but I understand from your situation that you'll find them amenable.
There's certainly some things to consider here. We'll need to discuss it with our chain of command, of course.
When Mike says this, Julius gives him a look like, actually, I think he probably just, sends him a message.
Okay.
That is along the lines of, are we chain of commanding this, or do we want to, decide unilaterally right now? Because he's kind of down for either.
Mike is sending the message back, we're telling them we're chain of commanding this. We'll make a decision in the car back what we're actually going to do.
Okay, alright. Thumbs up emoji.
Presumably there's no pushback from that.
No, of course, take all the time that you need.
Julius, I think before he goes, just looks at the general with just fucking, it's hate, just unalloyed hate. Everyone wants to talk, and as soon as anybody has a conversation with me, they begin baiting me. And I understand. I am a person who has made decisions, but if you are trying to be diplomatic, that strikes me as a poor approach.
We entered into this collaboration at no significant loss to ourselves. To have this thrown back in our faces in such a way, I think, reflects quite poorly on the Evangelion attitude towards taking down this mutual threat. General.
I'm sorry, when did I throw anything back? You'll have to be more specific.
Julius isn't having this fucking argument. Julius is not having this fucking argument with this asshole. He's leaving.
I'm not having this argument with you, says Mike, and then leaves after Julius.
Yeah, nice, good. God, fuck this guy. I wasn't touching you. It's fine. Fucking asshole.
I think in terms of this offer that's been put forward, this is a thing we should probably discuss as a group before the end of the session, because...
I think I have one more thing.
Okay.
As you leave in the back behind you, we see the general place a hand sort of paternally and very obviously protectively on Morn Mars's shoulder. and say, Sabriel, tell me A, if you think it's interesting if Julius hears this, and B, if you think it's interesting for it to happen at all. But I think we, the audience, hear the general just say, whatever. It's no matter. Only one of us was there when Wynn's nephew graduated, and it wasn't him. He's made his bed, he can lie in it.
I think it's good. I don't think he hears it though.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, alright, I think hard cut is just everyone sat around the hangar, and I presume you having just reported this to it saying true.
I don't like it. I know it might sound like it's just trying to get glory, but there's a few things hinging on us coming out of this looking good. Also, it's okay if I check some mechanics with you, Elspeth?
Yeah, what's that?
If we say no to this isn't breaching the ceasefire, is it? This wouldn't count for
No.
a non-drive tick for Fishy's thing.
A ceasefire was agreed, and then there was encouragement for Evangelion and DFS squads to cooperate. Two separate things.
Yeah. I know that there's some drive clock mechanics for Fishy for people rejecting the ceasefire. This wouldn't count for this, is what I'm saying for us if we decide not to take it.
It wouldn't, no.
I think Mike opens the floor if there's any opinions for people to what we think should be happening here.
The propagandists are exceptional. A victory like this could be quite significant for them.
But
my understanding is that our establishing notoriety is critical to getting off of this planet alive. Looks at Mike. Has Mike briefed everyone on that, by the way?
Not necessarily, but he's alluded to it. It's like, I believe so. I think if we can make this ours, not just the DFS, but Terminal Company, it's going to go a long way to getting us off this rock. That said, it's also getting the spaceport free and uncontested, allegedly. With that in place, we could be bringing down reinforcements, contact the rest of the fleet. Or, after the ceasefire's over, we try and take it anyway, given the measures we have in place.
Yeah, it's just saying that is part of the frame here, that the spaceport is also kind of important to getting out of this, and that right now you can't plausibly, at least according to DFS command, you can't plausibly extract from here.
Which is to say, getting True out of here before, regardless of what the plan is for the rest of Terminal Company, for True to get back home, we do need to... Mike's being pulled in a number of different directions. There is no good choice here.
I mean, if we spend 2 drive clocks on getting True home, we spent those 2 drive clocks, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe we have to put her in a little rocket and launch her into space. But we did spend the drive clock.
This is true.
So.
This is true.
Yeah. As good as the glory and the victory would be for morale and for the squad's well-being and prestige, I think that the spaceport is a higher priority. For those of us that need to rotate out, then all that glory is worth very little without the spaceport in play.
Mike hates how much sense that makes.
I will also just put a couple more things on the table. Julius, you mentioned the Joe Evangelion propaganda. I think the situation is clear enough for you to confirm that read of the situation. The Joe Evangelion forces are struggling, and the Serpent's Fangs, their top leadership, still haven't really managed to rally and unite the other Joe Evangelion forces under their command. They are in a bad situation and taking a sort of last-ditch gambit that a big win like this would serve as enough of a rallying point that at some point or another, taking back the spaceport would be relatively easy.
Not that different to Mike's plan, in theory.
The other thing that this means is going through the Evangelion dossier, the reason they are confident they can strike the finishing blow on Goliath is something at the spaceport. So that means that the area around the spaceport will be roughly the site of your last mission. So you found a secret tunnel. You plotted an underground route to underneath the spaceport. You have that. That means that will be, you can leverage that during the mission. You have a way of moving around that CalazCon and the Evangelions don't seem to know about. You could also leverage that if you wanted to somehow, I don't know what you would do, but if you wanted to try to think of some way of allying with and then betraying the Evangelions.
I was just thinking, we could break the truce. Huh?
I do not think we should do that.
Well, the truce is only up until Goliath is defeated. I think we should tell them we're taking this deal. At the very least.
Oh, you want a rules lawyer and armistice is what you want to do.
Hey.
You want to say, oh, step down, we can kill you.
I think that, well, okay, maybe a little bit of that, but like, I think, and also this gives us a little bit more time to consider what's going on, because I don't think we could really justify not taking this deal at this point. I like even Mike's desire for glory and what that would mean for striking the finishing blow for Goliath, which is something that he really does need. Ipse makes a good point here. We do need that, but of course they've got to physically be able to strike the finishing blow, and if something stops them from doing that for whatever reason, someone else might have to do it instead. That's still an option, right?
You want to sabotage them during the mission. That seems logical. Yeah, all right.
I don't necessarily... Sabotage is a strong word.
Listen, I think that killing a giant convention center-sized robot is too easy. We need to make this mission harder. Listen, Julius is 100% on board with any plan that lets him fuck over the Empire.
Yeah. I do not necessarily think that all of this discussion was happening in character as well. I don't think Mike is...
No.
I think it was in the Terminal Company Facebook group chat.
Like, Mike inside his head is thinking, they're saying they can take the final blow. Like, Mike will come back and say, sure, the plan is for you to do the final blow. But,
Sometimes you have to, roll with the punches.
Do we get...
Goliath could step on it.
The spaceport before they do this?
Oh, yeah, what's the order of events here?
No, they would do this and then leave. It's not explicitly stated, but you get the impression that whatever plan they have that makes them so sure they can finish this thing off, they need the spaceport to do that plan.
Oh, so we wouldn't be getting the spaceport until after the point where the ceasefire is not in effect. Mike is rolling back on his opinion on this, actually.
Yeah.
Because as you've rightly pointed out, for all of this talk about, we're planning on rules lowering the armistice, they are very clearly planning on doing the same thing from what the information that you gave us there, Elspeth, right?
Yeah, like, how much do we trust them to do this? Or like, what guarantee do we have that they can just say, haha, no?
Are you bringing that up in character?
I think that should be brought up in character, yeah.
Because the response to that is, Julius, surely you would know how likely it is they are to stay to their word.
I think we can...
Rude.
True. So we don't like back and forth this. I will summarize this as I think you can make arrangements such that you can be reasonably confident that they are telling the truth, or at the very least doubling back on this unfeasibly difficult.
And I guess that's in the short term, because you're saying, in the medium to long term, they were planning on using this as a rallying cry for whatever happens in a few months, right?
Yeah. They can agree to a partial withdrawal of some of the forces they have stationed at the spaceport. They can agree to you sending an observer to the spaceport and them sending someone to you in exchange, and so on. In a sort of back and forth, this becomes clear, and it's enough to satisfy you, at least, Julius, that Yeah, they would actually honour this, provided they still believe that that's what you're doing.
Great. That makes them easier to manipulate. Why don't we demand that they take everything but a skeleton crew out from the spaceport to do whatever it is they need to do to finish Goliath, and then betray them?
From a mechanics point of view, Elspeth, could we put off making this decision until we were doing the mission planning for next mission? Or do you want this session?
It sounds like the broad strokes are you are going to agree to their plan regardless, even when the follow-up is unclear. Is that right?
I think that's currently...
I think that makes sense. I think if there's absolutely no possibility of turning the situation to our advantage, Julius might cool a little on accepting, but,
I was happy to potentially at least commit to saying our reply during this session. I was kind of stewing on whether or not there's some kind of counter-offer we can make and give them something else instead of the glory, but it seems unlikely, so, yeah.
Any thoughts, True?
Yeah, I think my attitude was broadly to agree, and then if there is something that we can do to undercut them, fantastic.
Yeah.
It gets us at least partial access to the spaceport, which was something I was going to work towards this downtime anyway, so...
Yeah. Elspeth, this is quite a predicament you've put Mike in. I appreciate being pulled in the multiple directions.
Ipse, do you want to keep working on the interrogation?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's a group project. I was wondering if somebody else maybe wanted to contribute an action to it. I'm just thinking what I should do with mine.
I've got something for that, if that's okay.
Yeah, I think I will be doing a cut loose soon, but I haven't quite figured out who I want to do it with, so I'm happy for someone else to take an action first.
One of Ipse and True's legendary Bev sessions. We'll crack open some cold ones on the roof, it'll be great.
Yeah, the whiv is interesting because you have to frame it around refueling, yes?
Yes, but I have a couple of plans, so I'm weighing them up.
In terms of the long-term project for interrogating Empress Gold, presumably we've not let them into this hotel room / cell with any of their personal equipment on them. They'll have had a mobile phone or some other kind of portable device that we've taken off them.
Yes, good point.
I would like to hack that, please, to get anything we can use for leverage.
All right, that sounds distinctly like an interface, probably.
Okay. We've had a few mic scenes, so I'll just do this one quick. Yeah, we're going to get him in the office, just basically trying to hack into this phone, hooking it up into his various things with an interface.
He's got Android Studio open. He's ready.
Can I get an assist for this from someone? Ipse, maybe? Would that be useful?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Okay. That's a 6, a 1461.
All right, that's 3 ticks. How far does that put you?
That puts us at 5 of 6.
Is it worth just spending some simoleons to get it over the line?
Someone can, for sure. But yeah, I think, I don't know what leverage we get here, but I'm assuming we get access to, contacts and any perhaps incriminating stuff that we could use to, threaten.
We got into their Bitcoin wallet.
We got into their private chat, and we can post some takes that will get them cancelled if we put them on the CalazCon forums.
Shit.
Wow, yeah, the leverage. Yeah, okay, so do you want to just, delete a personnel to finish that one off?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think what you get is, I think you learned at some point during your last mission that part of the goal of that big LARP Weapons Expo party thing that you infiltrated was the early birds wanted to hype up enough interest in Goliath that CalazCon would consider them full partners and they would also get to share in the credit and the glory and so on. You learn from some of the correspondence in Empress Gold's phone that largely thanks to everything you did, that has not happened. In some ways, this is bad news, because this means that when Empress Gold told Julius during the mission that they were important to Goliath and knew things about it, they were probably kind of lying. However, they might still know something that's of use, and also, on the other hand, knowing that, essentially, Empress Gold kind of fucked up, and maybe does not have a huge number of fans high up in early birds or CalazCon leadership, or, people trying to help them or rescue them, is maybe useful.
Now that's some leverage.
Mm-hmm.
And also, presumably, if we've gone through and got all of these details, like there's a bunch of history of stuff from the, we were joking about private chats and stuff there for a second, but presumably there is stuff from back in the day to do with the early birds that would be useful to what Ipse is trying to achieve as well, right, in terms of drive.
I was also going to swing it, but the fact that Empress Gold and the early birds are not that involved in Goliath is part of my proof that they're not a long-term threat.
Yeah, true.
I like that.
That is a very good point.
Here's a big super weapon, and they're not even properly invited to the party.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So I will take that, assuming that's fine.
In terms of potential angles to, ask Empress Gold about, if you do want to see what useful information they could have, I think what this suggests to you is the main things that Empress Gold could know would be Empress Gold was one of the leadership in a squad that's comprised of the most devoted and, also probably the wealthiest Calazar fans. So Empress knows what the people want to see, what the people inside Goliath want to see from this, what they want to happen, what they want to do. And the Empress is also well positioned to know how this huge super weapon relates to this actual anime that it is inexplicably from. So I guess we're in a sort of odd situation that you end up finishing that project without talking to Empress Gold.
Very funny, yeah. This is a good way to get around our lack of social skills.
Blackmail.
Well, now we know what they do know if we want to actually ask questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right that even if you do decide that you have to abide by those inconvenient and annoying DFS basic human rights things and give Empress Gold over at the end of a downtime, you can flash back to this point and be like, well, then, of course, we asked Empress Gold about this. Yeah.
I think we're going to cut loose with Julius.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
I don't understand what about that could be unstressful, but anyway.
It's really going to shore up some of Ipse's doubts, I promise you. All right. When's the framing of this? It'll be after we've had the discussion about the Serpent's Fangs offer, certainly. There's been a little bit of time, maybe a couple of hours, where I've gone back to guard duty, and then I come and find Julius, wherever you are.
I think he might be in the bar. Not drinking, just sort of wow, I've had a very long day. I'm going to sit.
Sure. Ipse, again, enters the bar. And that means that if you catch a sight of me, you probably almost immediately know that I'm here for you. I don't come to a bar for other reasons. But yeah, I approach and very politely ask Julius, Lieutenant Thermidor, are you available for an important task?
Specify, please.
I have some urgent duties that need your attention.
That is, if anything, less specific.
I don't want to go to Renee about this, but I will try and make it in order if necessary.
You might not even need to go to Renee if Julius has been demoted.
That's also possible,
Which is so highly classified.
Sure.
You cannot speak it out loud in this bar. Oh, fuck.
Well, Julius, if you would, please accompany me to one of the engineering labs. And I start walking out of the bar and expect Julius to follow me.
Robot's such an asshole. Yeah, I mean, at least he wants to know what the fuck is going on,
So yeah, I lead you to fairly utilitarian, it's not quite supply closet sized, but it's just a small room that's being used to store some spare mechanical parts. But there is a workbench in here and a couple of chairs, and on the workbench is a slightly more clean and obviously not from this room case which Ipse immediately opens up and reveals a bunch of fuel canisters, or cartridges, I think is a term I've used before as well. And I sort of look directly at Julius and say, I do not care to share this knowledge with everyone, but this is, the source of my life. And occasionally, it comes time to replace them. I would appreciate it, seeing as Michael is currently indisposed with vital engineering work, if you could please perform this operation for me. I have included a set of instructions within the case. It shouldn't take very long.
Right. Sure. All right. If that's what's necessary right now. Very perfunctory, right? Very sort of like, all right, or not, no, or, yeah, perfunctory is, I guess, the word, right? Just sort of like, all right, open the thing, gonna, look through, gonna follow the instruction manual or whatever, but it's very functional, right?
I'll actually just briefly loop Matt in here, but I think I probably asked Mike to write some instructions, record some instructions.
Oh, this is weird.
Oh yeah, making it weird.
Oh, this is so weird.
There's stuff that's been printed out that Mike's first go, and then there's also like handwritten Mike notes that he's clearly just put on afterwards as he's been thinking and has been refining it as well. So Mike's put a decent amount of effort into this.
A couple of lines crossed out, the usual. But yeah, as I see Julius starting to look at the instructions, I sit and I turn away as I usually do, and I'm pretty sure Julius has never seen my back cavity open up before.
Probably not, no.
Yeah, but yeah, the plates segment and slide apart to reveal the internal workings and the fuel cartridges.
Yeah, I think Julius does, not a bad job at this, right? I mean, I guess maybe the role determines that, but, I feel like, he's not fucking it up, right? This is somebody who he doesn't like or trust, but does have to go into a battle with, and so if you get killed because you don't have enough juices, that's bad for me. That sucks. So, he does that. He replaces the parts. He is very, very careful, and very, uncomfortable is probably just the best way to do that. He doesn't know why you asked him to do this and not someone you like.
Mm-hmm. Ipse is quiet during this as well. I'm not deliberately making it more uncomfortable for you, but I am also just I don't think I want to make small talk, or I do not think you want to make small talk with me during this, so I'm just allowing you to continue. But I'm assuming that Julius follows through the technical instruction left by Mike. And yeah, as the last sort of cartridge is replaced, a little green indicator light flicks on, and I say, very good, I believe that's completed, and stand up slowly, and I allow the back panels to close back up again. And then I turn to face Julius, and I say, well done, I thought you would be quite capable of this, but I needed to make sure. When the company rotates out, I expect Michael will be leaving us. So I need to make sure there's someone still here that I will be able to trust with this role.
Pardon?
I mean, I believe Michael will be leaving once the spaceport is claimed.
I see.
And I'm unable to perform the refueling on myself, otherwise I would not be asking you to do it. But I expect that you will be able to do that going forwards.
Yes. If it's required for your upkeep, I will be perfectly happy to manage.
Excellent.
Looking in a different direction, like not barely here.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. I also expect that I can request this be added to your technical skills on your personnel file, Julius. It should help you with your position in the DFS going forwards. I'm sure any gains you can make to your position would be helpful for you.
This robot is so fucking mean to me.
This will look great on your CV, Julius.
You're getting paid an experience.
Ipse?
Yes.
Was that entertaining to you?
No, Julius, I simply needed to ensure that I could trust you with this rather delicate task. But as I said, I'm quite satisfied with the performance.
It seems as if it's a little entertaining to you, is all.
I don't know what you mean.
Are they lying?
Honestly, I do think Ipse is not being completely honest. There's a little bit of
the CV thing wasn't passive aggression?
Huh?
Come on.
The CV thing is Ipse's way of trying to encourage Julius.
Oh my god, that was sincere? Oh, that's horrifying. I hate that.
There's little digs in there, but Ipse genuinely means
they were
it. Like,
sizable.
It's. I think Ipse is trying to address the imbalance between themselves and Julius by basically making sure they can trust Julius with a task that leaves Ipse vulnerable. That is a lot of the motivation here.
That is insane, because to Julius it just reads like a weird power play.
It's also a weird power play.
Yeah, okay, thank you, yes.
But I think that is, I don't know, that is not how Ipse really sees it, at least on the top level. Ipse is not doing the kind of self-examination needed to recognize this.
Hate this fucking robot, y'all. Ipse, is it a wise idea to antagonize somebody that you are going to be on a battlefield with tomorrow?
And potentially dependent upon for your literal lifeblood.
I did not say that part.
Yep. Apologies, Julius, if anything I said seemed like I was attempting to antagonize you there. It is important to me that the squad has a level of cohesion going forwards into this mission.
Right. Well, thankfully I'm a professional, so there won't be any issues. Excuse me. I have to go have a conversation with somebody.
Of course. We are done here.
Okay, we're cutting immediately to Mike.
Okay, because Matt has realised that Mike has not discussed at all with Ipse the fact that his plan is now for everyone to be leaving as well, and Mike probably is not necessarily super keen on the idea of leaving Ipse behind for whatever reason. And, probably should have communicated that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Do you know what this? I know what the scene needs to be. We need to get these three in a room.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
We need them to all have a horrible conversation about this.
Drew's going to be in the hotel spa at the time.
Before that, do you need to roll to see what your stress reduction was?
I don't roll because I'm a robot.
You just get.
I just drop 5, so I'm good. But I do need a new belief about Julius.
Yeah, what do you have right now?
So I have Julius's proof that we're fighting the good fight. He should be protected.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. And wrong.
I'm going to write Julius can be trusted to do his duty despite his personal, what's the word?
Hang-ups.
Hang-ups? Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Should this discussion about the future happen, maybe, does this maybe happen as part of finishing up the Goliath preparation? Like, someone just casually says, and we'll all get out of here.
All? Yep.
Well, my idea for what I was going to be doing for that was to be giving a speech where that potentially was going to come up.
Oh, this will go great, man.
Yeah, okay, so maybe Julius doesn't go, straight to Mike. Maybe Julius, sits on this information that he thinks he has for a couple of days, and then we do more Goliath prep. Mike was going to roll that, right?
Yeah, I think that's my last regular action.
It is, yes.
This is Mike giving a speech using one of the charisma-related abilities that he does not have. It could be command, it could be consort, it could be sway. None of this matters because he has 0 dots in any of these things. And so we'll probably need to have an assist from somebody.
It was set with an earpiece feeding him the speech.
There is an assist I could get from True, which was just an action that I thought was going to be leading this off, which is the one that comes to mind. And yeah, okay. Would you be okay to take a sniper shot at something, True?
Sure.
So I think, we've been doing these drills. Everyone's very busy. Everyone's very tired. We're out in, the training yard, and Mike walks up. There's maybe, not a huge amount of attention being paid to him, and he's like... coughs again. People are busy. He takes out I think it's the empty bottle of this tequila that's got the Baron Bastatos head on it. That I think. Did you say there was an additional bottle of this around, Julius?
That you were just carrying around, huh?
Well, I've gone to get from somewhere.
Oh, okay, I see.
And empty, of course, because we're going to drink it. And I think Mike just flips this up in the air. Or maybe it's some other piece of merch. Maybe it's not this specific bottle. It's some other piece of, branded bottle CalazCon trash. Tosses it up into the air real high. And True, if you could just put a bullet through that with long reach just to get everyone's attention, that'd be great.
I mean, yes, she does so. If there is something that she can be relied upon to do, especially with, zero distraction or what have you, I don't even think you need to set her up for that.
Psh, this all shatters everywhere.
She blows a hole through it, and then it shatters when it hits the ground.
Oh, cool. And I think we get Mike there, and I think Julius will have been given a heads up as well to be there, and Ipsy, get folks around. Birdie, people who would be useful to know this is coming up. And now that he's got attention, I'm the drills stop, and it's okay, Terminal Company. Things are looking pretty hairy right now. Glances up to Goliath, kind of walking around in the background. This tourist trap that encroached upon our mission here has all started to get a bit out of hand. Now, I never thought when we landed here that we'd be working alongside the Evangelions, either closely or with this ceasefire that our friend Fishy has organised on our behalf. But I think we can all agree that thing up there, that's got to fucking go. And I know I've not got the best reputation around here. Maybe I've got a reputation for being a little self-serving. Maybe I've got a reputation for being out for myself when it comes to optics. But I swear to you, I swear to each and every one of you that I have a plan. We take this thing out. That's our route out of here. All of us. We can do this. We've had those cosplay motherfuckers from the 501st trying to blow us up with artillery for months. Did they succeed? No. We had those same dipshits try and take our base. Did they succeed? No. Mike's giving a little hand signal to see if any people who are in the crowd will be joining in when he's saying this as well. We've got Empress Gold up there, captured, who's tried to come and steal our stuff on 2 separate occasions now. And did they succeed? No! Hopefully everyone says no, but we'll see.
Julius is raising an eyebrow at you, but it's yeah, all right. Let's see where he's going with this. He's helping.
Yeah, we can abstract some of this away as well, because I think Mike might be better at giving speeches than me. Or we'll see how it rolls when the dice roll comes around. I was thinking about starting a long-term project regarding upping morale, because that's the kind of thing a designated poster boy does as well, right? But it's also not just about Mike. It's also about keying folks in. It's also about genuinely. I think Mike has gone through some growth, and he's trying to demonstrate the fact that a lot of these people around here haven't liked him for a long time because he's kind of an ornery bastard. And he has changed. We have succeeded. We have pushed back this siege line. He'll bring that up too. Out of most of the squads here, we're the ones most overtly winning this war. Mike in his heart knows that, other squads are doing other things as well, but he's trying to rile up the troops here.
No, it's just us. No one else is doing it.
He's going to talk up Youthy. He's going to talk up Birdie. He's going to be talking up all of these other NPCs, Spanners. He's going to be talking up everyone. He's going to be going... I'm not going to do this bit by bit because it's going to take it to... But, pointing out, going round each of the individual people that he knows and, bringing up stuff that they've done to help do this. Like, we're all going to come together. And in the end, we've done all this, and we're going to do one thing more. That eyesore's got to fucking go. And he throws another piece of merchandise up in the air. And if you could be so kind as to obliterate that too, True.
True shoots it 3 times. It does not hit the ground.
Nice. Are you with me? And hopefully everyone will cheer.
I feel like there's a reasonable amount of cheering. That's not a bad speech, you know.
What should this be? A command, a consort, a sway? It's all the same, really.
Plus help.
Mike has been inspired by you, Julius. Hopefully this will go well.
Ah, that's a bad start.
It's 1 dice, because it would be 2 take lowest, but help. So let's see how this goes.
If it's inspired by Julius, it's probably command. But also, don't be inspired by Julius. Good lord.
Well, lots of awkward things are happening. And there may be some degree of, like, Ipse picking up on that Mike does not intend to leave Ipse behind. But they probably do need to have a better, more involved conversation about that as well. Okay, let's just roll a fortune dice. 1 dice. Oh, that's a 3.
Oh, it's not a good speech.
It's not a great speech. It's not. We still get one. We still get 1 tick in the clock.
Yeah, it's not a complete failure. There's been progress. It's something.
He's at least attempting to establish himself as a designated poster boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, we can spend like personnel to up the result value as well, right?
Yeah, but it's almost always better to spend that personnel just to take another action.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted Mike to have a better speech, but
Oh. I mean, if you want the speech to have been a little bit better.
The next day he comes back and tries the speech again.
I think I would like the speech to have been a little better, if that's all right.
Okay. You can spend 1 personnel to make it slightly better. It'll cost 2 personnel to make it so good that it finishes the project.
Well, I think actually we're going to need to spend a personnel to do something extra on the clock anyway, so maybe that is bring out a bunch of Calazar merch and we all just start trashing it.
Okay, I can imagine that being cathartic. That's great.
That scene from Hook where they're trashing the clocks, like that kind of thing. Like, and maybe like Julius or True or someone else has brought those out to kind of save the fact that the speech was going badly. I think that's cost us. I think that's cost us 1 more personnel than it passably should have optimally. But I kind of like that as a scene.
That's really funny. I really like that.
Okay,
so was that 2 personnel?
That was 2 personnel. Yeah, I've moved that there. Yeah.
In that case, that brings it to a full success, which means it does finish the project. Yes.
I feel.
Oh shit! We haven't gotten Sir as an independent squad.
Nope, we still got.
We'll need to do that.
Well, yeah,
Still have Sir as a gun, right? Or does that clock need finishing for that?
You stay away from Sir.
Oh.
There's 1 more tick on that clock, yeah, for sure. But I think we've got. If we do a collect as well, that's going to help us out with some stuff. That's the Goliath prep completed. Yes.
So that gets me a tick, yeah.
Yeah.
And would that also get me a tick?
Would that also get me a tick? Also, I don't know what we're talking about ticking.
Drive clocks.
Okay.
I feel like this Mike doing a cool speech about doing cool military things is maybe the opposite of giving you a tick in your drive. True.
Worth a go.
Yeah, I think that's drive ticks for Julius and Michael, though.
Yeah, that's also why I wanted to spend the personnel. I think I'd be able to justify taking the drive tick a bit more with that, so apologies for the inefficiency, folks. But
I think we should have a conversation between Ipse and Mike and Julius.
Yes. How's it going to come up there? Yeah, definitely.
About what the plans are.
Mm-hmm.
How does this start?
Yeah, it's
How are we all hanging out?
like, where would we all be hanging out? Probably in the repair bay. Are we back in the room? Do we kick this guy out again?
I mean, would we kick him out to like have a conversation? Like, are we all like, how does this start? You know, like, are we all like, okay, everybody's got to sit down and talk now. We're kicking this guy out of his fucking room. Like, what's?
I mean, I guess Ipse has this speech giving you information that you did not have before regarding what Mike's plans are.
I still don't think that it is. I think this is a thing where when Ipse hears we're all getting out of here, they don't think of it as including themselves. Like, that attitude is kind of pretty ingrained. if we just want a reason to all be in the same room, then perhaps we're just all telling Mike how well we think the speech went.
Oh, I'm real glad about that, because at the start I thought it was a bit touch and go, honestly. I thank you very much for bringing all that merch to Smash. I don't think it had gone at least a third as well of that if you hadn't have done that.
True isn't here, but did pat Mike on the back and say, that was a terrible speech, as she left for her guard duty.
Ipse is blowing smoke up Mike's house. Julius is walking up to both of them and saying, "Oh, Michael, Ipse, why are you under the impression that Mike is being transferred out on his own?"
Mike looks shocked.
Certainly not on his own, but my understanding is that once the spaceport is secured, we can begin troop rotation as according to DFS military regulations. Many of the members of our squad have been here for far longer than the normal active deployment time. It's only fair.
I mean, yeah, but you're also part of the squad, Ipse. Like, I think we've got a pretty good thing going on, with you and board squad and all of that kind of stuff, But also, who'd help you out with your, refueling and stuff? You think I'd leave you behind?
Julius has actually proved himself to be quite qualified to perform that task for me.
Julius makes a fucking face.
Mike also makes a different face.
But to answer your question, I simply do not believe it is necessary for me to leave here at the moment. I'm still comfortable. My performance is up to standard versus what the regulations desire. If I had time off this planet, then, to be quite frank, I do not even know what I would do with it. I have already started drafting official response to command if this is necessary, but it was my assumption that I would simply stay behind while the rest of you leave. I don't think the higher-ups here would complain about that.
I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't, but you know what? Fuck the higher-ups. You're part of this squad, and,
Now it's time for Ipse to make a face.
And as for what to do, I was hoping maybe we could, take in a ball game or something,
Is Ipse your son? What?
I don't know. Mike's just getting very confused. He was caught off by his
dudes.
He just gave a terrible speech and was saved by property destruction.
Mid-speech. Really can't stress how bad that was.
Yeah.
Ipse, I have no opinion on where you go or what part of the DFS you're engaged with, but you will have to find someone else to perform your maintenance, as I will not be staying.
Ah. Interesting.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Is there something that you would like to say on that subject, or are you simply going to look at me?
No, it's unexpected, I must admit. But
Michael has a plan?
I suppose you have your reasons, and if it's authorized for someone in your circumstances to be allowed the regular rotation, then I suppose that is only correct. Apologies for pulling you out of a bar earlier, Julius. Perhaps that was not necessary after all.
Michael?
Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Julius. I am aware that there are potentially things that I need to discuss. Mike is looking quite flustered, and this is a somewhat public place.
And he's just given a terrible speech.
Fucking extraordinarily terrible. Why did you think that was a good idea? Did you not script it?
I thought I'd do it off the cuff.
They have ear piercers nowadays. You can get like an earpiece, have someone else, You could have gotten Renee in. That would have been better. No, I'm kidding. Even she wouldn't go that far, probably.
There's a lot of stuff going on for Mike right now, and Ipse, I think after we deal with that thing, and thumb is jacking towards Goliath, I think we should have a talk about future deployments.
I'm still not convinced that conversation would be necessary, but I hope that you can respect my desire to stay here. To tell the truth, before I came here, I found myself rather lost and without purpose. This war is sometimes terrible, it must be said, but were I to leave, I fear it would simply stay in my thoughts, and I would feel like I was not doing my part, regardless.
And Mike hangs his head, and it's like, no, I understand that, and I respect that you need the choice. And he thinks back to the conversation with True.
Fucking terrible speech. Jesus Christ.
No, different conversation with True.
Thanks back to that one first, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's a great bit.
It's a really good bit.
And there's a lot of this stuff coming through. Like, it's the same with Sir. It needs to have the actual choice too. And if that's what you choose, then that's what you choose. But hopefully you'll also respect my right to try and convince you otherwise.
Michael, you heard Ipsy. They don't want to leave.
Thank you, Julius.
Mike screws his head. Once again, Mike is being torn between additional quandaries and things.
Does Mike get that they don't like each other, like, at all?
No.
Does, like, is it... Oh, okay, this is something he's just now discovering.
Mike is friends with Julius. Mike is friends with Ipsy. Mike assumes his friends are friends.
Oh, Mike, your friends hate each other.
Mike is not...
They don't get along
the
at all.
most emotionally intelligent person. Which would probably explain the bad speech, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to go to the doctor.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, do it.
Do we still have Dr. Martin Perfect, right?
Of course,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right. Martin Perfect's tier is what?
I think he's quality level as the squad, so
Squad +1, isn't it, for specialists?
It is +1 for specialists.
that's why he's perfect.
Hold on, it's 4 because you have an infirmary and a doctor.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Fuck yeah.
And
He gets
someone
so
might be able to
well.
assist. Oh, maybe not.
Not a single 6. It's a 1, a 4, and 2 2s. Great.
That could have been rough.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna tick that clock twice.
He almost
and
left
then
his watch in there.
I'm gonna use another personnel point, if nobody minds.
Sure.
That's reasonable. I think before you do that, the moment we get is, while sort of examining you, Dr. Perfect leans down, like, towards you, like, ends up sort of near your face, and you hear him sniff slightly, and, says, if you're under the impression that, there are things that are like a fine vintage wine, there are things that, age and grow more, profound, palatable, and, satisfying for me to deal with as they age. Gut injuries are not one of them. Just to be clear. This might take a while.
Thank you, Doctor. I understand. Hey, I have a question for the table and the GM and everyone in this room. I've had a lot of questions today. This was important. Is Julius wearing a t-shirt that says, "Please be rude to me" today?
He's actually wearing it every day.
I've been relatively nice to you today.
I know! You're the only one!
What have I done?
Just,
It's
okay.
true, we haven't actually hung out yet.
I will admit I was being unfair. Can you remind me, so the harm that you have right now is a level 2 harm heavily bandaged, yes?
I am not saying that they're wrong.
No,
I'm just saying that they're doing it.
I want to know, which mission did this harm originally occur in?
It was a little bit ago. It was 3 missions ago.
No.
I think. Yeah, because it was pre-scramble.
It's only a 5-mission campaign.
Well, technically
Yeah.
6 for us, but
6.
I've had level 2 to 3 harm for most of it.
Is this still
Stop
one from when you got
doing that.
shot in the gut
I
by
am
that guy
trying,
who recognized
okay?
you?
No, you're not.
Yeah, I took level 3 harm, and then I did a mission with level 3 harm.
This all
fucking
started with
mess.
someone being very rude to Julius, and we're just continuing it.
Okay.
Now we're being rude to Sabriel. That's different.
I'm gonna roll 4 dice. Again, I'm gonna spend a personnel point. Fuck y'all. That's a 6.
Well done.
It doesn't matter that it's a 6, but it is a 6. Yeah.
So that was your last action and 1 personnel, Julius, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What a
Yeah,
mess.
can I take a final personnel and get up to, like, okay shape?
Well, so you're down to a level 1 harm, and then...
Yeah.
Yeah, I could get rid of that and be healed for the first time since, like, our 2nd mission or something.
And that'd leave us with 1 personnel left for, like, helping with Sir and stuff like that. Or maybe doing a collect, who knows, but...
Yeah, we can collect.
True, you had a long-term project.
I'm going to try and work on the Sir clock. I don't entirely remember what actions have been put into this clock already. Anyone recall?
Originally, weren't we going to put it in an ape or something? Wasn't that the plan?
No, the ape was Lila Cluster, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think we were getting Sir, like, just sort of, like, resources to, like, get out on their own. Like, space and contacts and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think we'd left it to do this mission because, there were a lot of Sir clocks last downtime, if I remember correctly. So it was, like, making a decision on like... Because I know Ipse had opinions, like Mike's definitely, especially after this conversation with True, Mike's opinion is Mike wants Sir to stay and help them, but now realizes that it needs to be Sir's own decision, if that makes sense. So Mike is definitely up for finishing this clock.
So maybe Mike helps. I don't mind that being my action because I'm not 100% sure if there's anything else I want to do.
Because I know Ipse had a conversation with Sir about getting them to stay, and this will... cause some friction between the Mike and Ipse, but I guess we'll see. But
in my mind, this was just True helping Sir move. Like, the back of the truck is just full of, server cabinets and stuff like that.
Oh, I like this.
Because the idea is that the plasma gun, like, there's also been part of this is also handover. Like this, like if you want to make this last roll, it could be like about the handover to like a different squad of NPCs to be using the gun, so we still have access to it, because we were able to get it working so quickly because of Sir. But this is less them being the gun.
Yeah, I think that is the focus of the project from my perspective.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily sure that the project is and prop up another NPC squad in the gun.
Yeah. I think True doing removal service is fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's True's delivery service. For this scene and this scene alone, Michael is, of course, played by Phil Hartman for that reason. Yeah, I think it's... good lord, the long-term project fucking section is getting very busy. I'm not even terribly sure if it's, like, voiced in that way. Maybe it's musical montage. But I do think it's, maybe there's some of the support staff from Terminal Company helping with this. I kind of like the idea that maybe Spanners and Michael are there as well. And it's, taking some stuff out of the actual gun. It's taking a huge zip drive for Sir to actually live on or transfer to while we're setting them up in their new place. It's setting up, like, security locked doors and things like that, giving Sir, like, some degree of autonomy within that space. Like, I don't know, some car construction robots to roll around or something like that,
Yeah, I like the sound of that, like...
Give Sir some limbs and some ability to get around the space.
Yeah, this was definitely part of... We have stuff around for doing this. Like, Mike is not incapable of putting together some kind of basic body.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's bodies in that way, because bodies are different, right? Like, Sir can be whatever they want to be in that way. I'm thinking more of these, like, limbs.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more of these, like, if we put Sir in a server farm in a decent-sized warehouse somewhere, it's ensuring that... I don't know if there's a hole in the roof or something that they have a thing that can go and patch it for them and stuff like that, Some drones.
I think critically it's also, like, Sir can have the ability to make the body that they want with the stuff that they've got, right? Like, they are, sometimes you can print a printer, right? So...
Yeah. There's a 3D printer in there. There's, like, 500 spools of Ethernet cables. There's a handgun in case anyone else comes in, Can you imagine if you walked into a warehouse and a car robot was there with a handgun in one hand? I'd be really stressed out. That would be a very uncomfortable situation for me.
I would leave. I would leave.
I wouldn't leave, but
I just want you to make your mind up about whether or not this AI core should have a gun.
It can have a gun, it just can't be a gun. That's the thing.
Every gun deserves a choice.
I think we also get a shot of some more like personal touches. Like I remember there was a scene where there was some kind of fictional sport that Sarah was talking about with Michael.
Yeah,
and I think that just like without you like knowing, without this being something that you like directly did, Michael, there's like a pennant for one of those sports teams that Sarah's just somehow acquired.
Well, it could be 3D printed or something like that. I like that. I like that. That's really cute.
Yeah,
it's whatever Mike's hometown is.
Yeah, no, it's the Bastock Ironmongers.
There you go. I don't necessarily know if there's any dialogue needed there. I guess it's just true kind of giving a nod, and it's like a parent fucking leaving you when you go for university. You know what I mean? Like when you're first moving in.
According to this, Sarah's technically an independent squad, but I honestly don't know what it is Sarah would want to be doing, or what goals it would have, or what it would specialise in, and unless there's a point where we need to know, I almost feel like we should leave it open.
Because this is the whole point is that Sir is making a choice, right? Sir is being given the opportunity to have this choice about what to do, as has been coming up quite a lot this episode. So I think it definitely does make sense for Sir to be getting that as well. And Mike will have a talk with Sir as well, and like we'll be running through all of this kind of stuff that we've been discussing already. Like it's very similar to what he was saying with Ipse, and sees the pennants for the Ironmongers up on the wall, gives a nod. He'll say out of range where Sir can't hear Mike. Like it's like see you around, kiddo, and walk off.
Weird that you treat that gun like your kid.
You are the last person on the world who can have this conversation with me, True Blue.
Smug smile, like mischievous cat grin.
I think on the sort of drive back, I'm imagining Longreach is with you, True?
If I'm in the truck, unless I explicitly say otherwise, Longreach is usually with me.
Yeah, sure. I think when there's a bit of a lull in conversation, Longreach pipes up and says, "You're sure Sarah will be okay?"
No. But, they know we're here?
It's got our number. They can call.
Yeah. It's still a sentient being. It's not really We've given it all we, maybe should, I think. Give it some time to, feel out where it wants to fit in the world. And, we've given it some social connections and a little bit of stuff so it can make something for itself if it wants.
Yeah, maybe Lilac can come over and visit a few times as well. The main thing is that when shit goes down with Goliath, we've got some people in there for taking over, like aiming and firing of the gun. It's not going to be anywhere near as accurate as it would have been otherwise, but frankly, it's going to be a target. Like if we'd left Sir in there, Goliath's going to go straight for it.
Yeah. They're soldiers. They know what they signed up for. They got a choice to do so.
Right.
Does that sit all right with you?
Yeah. I mean, it feels weird, It doesn't feel right, but I guess it's not going to. Doesn't mean it's the wrong thing. So it's going to get into trouble, right? Like, the kind of people who made me, or would do something like that, are going to find out about it, and then they're going to come and if they show up, then Sir's just going to have to do something violent to make them scared or get them to go away, and then it isn't... What if that happens, and it's just like the same thing happens when if Sir had stayed, and then we're not even there?
I've got to be honest, Longreach, it's... seems like it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't type decisions.
I just don't think we can keep it. You know?
No, I know, one of my friends said that, someone I know said that this is why beings like us have to be the ones to move first. He said the answer was, move first, make them respect you, and then you won't need to hurt them again.
It's not how I'd handle it. I don't think it's how Sir would. I think maybe sometimes you have to put some faith in people, but still. I think we're going to be around here a little while longer. And even if we're not, just because of distance doesn't mean we won't still be there for it if it wants. I know Sir's dangerous, and also, any of us could be dangerous, right? At the end of the day, even the truck, I could make a hell of a mess if I wanted. Maybe I'm not being tailed around in the same way that Sir might be, but Sir does end up in that situation and knows who to call, I suppose. Personally, no, I don't think that you should hit first if there's a chance you're going to be hit. But, it's kind of on the individual to decide, I guess.
Yeah, for the record, I'm definitely in favour of hitting first if you think you're going to get hit,
Trude punches him on the shoulder.
Like that.
Not helping. Bad parenting.
There's something, you want to leave soon, right?
If we can.
And if I told you something that stopped you, you wouldn't be angry?
I could never be angry with you. No, really.
I said I knew someone who said that.
Yeah.
From the network you helped me set up. I think that he's what Sir was supposed to be. He's not...
He?
Yeah, he's not easy to talk to. Or sometimes he is, but it's... I wasn't sure whether I wanted to tell you, but I think I know where he is.
Philo is the player. I'm not entirely sure who he is in this context.
You wouldn't... Yeah, I think that in a sort of unusual sort of gesture for Longreach, because I imagine if you're piloting the truck, then Longreach is sort of synced with your visuals and your targeting, right?
Yes.
I think that you're like sort of targeting like your reticles and your gaze and so on is just like naturally pulled to look at Goliath.
Okay, that was who I thought it was.
Yeah!
Diversity when the convention-destroying giant robot uses he-him pronouns.
Whatever person they made to run all that shouldn't... I don't know what to do. I got some of his data. Hold on. And Longreach sent you an image of the AI that is operating Goliath that is what Sir was a prototype for and is an iteration on the same sort of sentient weapon that Longreach is.
Dun, dun, dun.
God damn it, they turned an anime character
He's
into
back.
a giant robot. It's the
Convention
Gundam
Center
Factory
form.
incident all over again.
For the listeners, this is an image of a sort of elderly, stern, like, sort of rectangular-faced, grey-haired man with a scar in some kind of a military uniform and a trench coat with the name Baron Bastardos.
These CalazCon fucks are so vulgar.
Really are.
Like, it's just like... Yeah, really? That's your thing that you're doing? That's your approach you're taking to the, the art and science of ending human life? Is this? Good lord.
They kind of only have one bit.
It's AI art all over again.
I think it's different, but alright.
So, Reach's point was essentially, I've been Twitter DMing with the giant extremely destroyable city flattening mech.
Mm-hmm.
What was it asking of me, I suppose, or what were they asking of me, I should say?
Basically just saying, like, I know that there is another one of, like, the weapons that I am inside Goliath, and they were not sure whether to tell you.
That's a lot, but we always figured they might make more. We'll offer them the same choice. And, well, if necessary, we'll do what we have to. But only if necessary. Alright?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
If the time comes, it'll be a conversation you're a part of as well. Alright?
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me, Reach. I know that took a lot.
Thanks for being here.
Where else would I be? Anyway, did I tell you about this dog shit speech that Michael gave earlier?
Oh,
still.
Leave him alone, he's already dead.
Do we get any drive clicks from that?
Was there anything for Long Reach's drive?
Yeah, no.
Or do you think that's probably from the mission?
We talked about this, definitely.
So did I get any drive ticks from that? Is there, or are you saying, is this queuing up the potential for drive ticks in the mission itself?
I'm saying drive tick Long Reach from completing that long-term project, which I think you've marked.
Oh, I see. I have not.
I don't think that conversation itself is one. It's definitely an opportunity for one.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Alright, sick.
It, say, still has one downtime action left.
That final action I'm planning on putting on Train, just to grab an XP, because I think I can probably get another ability from end of session stuff if I grab an XP now. So, because I'm putting it into Playbook XP, and because it's those kind of things, I think this represents a little bit of time spent on chassis upgrades for myself.
I got a question about those material. How do you unbreak broken gear? Like, I have a mobility suite that I junked. Can I pay materiel for that? Or how does it work?
Junked slots are unavailable until material points are spent to uninstall them.
How much?
I feel like it's probably a point per load.
Material equal to the number of slots, yeah.
It is 2 load. Do we have other uses for that material?
The other option was someone upgrading their quirks, right?
Yeah, 3 material equals a new quirk for someone. Certainly Mike was potentially keen on getting a new quirk. It's going to play well with some other stuff that he's got going on.
Didn't you already get one?
Yeah, this will be another one.
I love Mike.
He's a tuner.
Mike's great. Here's the thing. I would really like to have access to my mobility suite. That feels like a thing to have.
Okay, what if remaining point of personnel, do a collect action real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Then use the remaining, material from that, if we get any, to
and see what's
potentially
up.
do Mike's quirk. Because I don't think I have anything else I want to do. It sounds like Ipse doesn't have anything else they want to do, so...
Yeah, I think I'm good.
That seems good.
The only other thing we could spend that personnel on would be, and maybe we get another personnel at the end of this, would be to up our schmooze level. Since I'm a good boy, I will remind Teacher about homework.
God damn it! Listen, if we roll high enough, we could do all of this. So let's just fucking pull the trigger on a collect.
So who are we collecting from?
Collecting. Yeah, who are we shaking down for money?
Because you pick the region and you roll dice depending on the region, right?
Yes.
Hey, where did the hive live?
Don't do it in Praxium Plaza, for the love of God.
Yeah, what region are you going with? You asked where the hive live. I think you said, near the curse. Probably also Zia Park seems likely.
Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think Julius is petty enough to make a personal grudge into taking people's possessions. I am personally, but I'm gonna back off that one a little bit.
Well, Hall H has the highest wealth value.
All right, let's fucking take them for everything they got.
This would be considered a raid on CalazCon. This would be basically turning up in a bunch of vans with Board Squadron and basically just straight up attacking and robbing a bunch of stores. Or
yes, good. Finally,
it's the biggest stage. There's probably a point we could do that on there.
Well, let's see how this roll goes. It's going to be 4 dice.
Who's rolling this? Wait, am I rolling this?
Yes.
It sounds like it.
There is a 6 and a 1 in there. It's a 5, a 1, a 6, and a 2. Great.
Okay, so we do get 6 supply.
We do get 6 supply. I'm gonna spend 2 material now to fix my thing.
Yeah, but we also have to roll entanglement with whoever owns Hall H currently.
Yeah, so that's going to be CalazCon.
Oh, what now? What now?
Oh, no,
She never makes that noise when good things are happening.
So, do you know what can help make entanglements better? Do you know what can help make them less bad? So,
no.
So we decide what table to roll on based on your, your relationship with the faction you've targeted. So CalazCon, that's -3, obviously. But it's okay because you modify that with your relationship with your patron, which is +1, right? It's still +1.
It's not +1.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We have been chosen to suffer.
Okay, roll 3 dice.
I might as well do this too. I might as well fuck this one up as well. Yeah, I got nothing. That's a 3, a 2, and a 3. I don't think those are good numbers.
Small numbers are a good outcome, right?
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Wait,
it's like
I don't
golf.
remember. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's wild. It just says everything's fine and it's a smiley face. It doesn't even say there's any consequences of that. It says good vibes only, smiley
cool.
face.
It's so cool.
If it's scramble again, I'm going to scream.
Yeah, alright, so you've grabbed some supplies. What sort of supplies did you grab from these people?
It's a convention, so what about like 3D printer filament? It's food, resources in that way, it's hard currency, it's...
Yeah, cash is what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mirror of the fucking scene where we were moving shit into Sir's warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone is just like carting this stuff into vans, taking it back.
I think, because is Goliath like causing a ruckus? Right? It's not randomly shooting lots of things, but I imagine effectively we are taking advantage of like this uncertainty to basically just run in and start looting effectively, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The supplies you have got are in some way poisonous or unhealthy to be around. How do you find this out? What happens?
What if it's got DRM? What if it's 3D printer filament that we try and plug in and it immediately starts printing out anti-piracy notices? Space EA Games, fuckers once again.
I love this because specifically this is unhealthy or dangerous in a way that might injure you. So yes, of course, CalazCon has like
poisonous
anti-DRM paper that gives you hives or something.
Oh god. Well, we did get it from the hive, I guess.
You need to make a fortune roll using your squad's tier. So roll 2 dice, and if it goes very badly, you all take level 1 harm.
Oh, that's not too bad.
If it goes somewhat badly, you need to pick between spending material and taking stress.
That's not ideal.
We can spend material. We still have some.
We can leave our friends
behind. You can
behind.
spend personnel to give yourself a bonus on the roll.
We have 2 material, which from that roll we got 6 points. We've just designated 2 of that as material, which you've then spent. We've got the 3 that's left over for Mike's quirk, potentially, and then we've got 4 supply that has been unassigned. Would we need to assign that straight away, or are we good, like, rolling this all together?
I think you should have assigned that previously.
because we're going to definitely take 2 material to handle that. Is the rest as personnel for, like, healing probably a good idea? Healing and schmoozing? So the rest is...
Does anyone need healing?
I could do... If we had some spare for healing, I could potentially heal.
Yeah, sure.
So 4 personnel.
So yeah, are you going to spend any of that for a bonus on this roll?
Yeah, I think we should
I
burn
think
one
that's
now.
wise.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone roll 3 dice then.
There we go.
That's a 6. It's not
Oh my God, you're
poisonous.
fine.
It's not even
Yeah.
poisonous.
Not even poisonous.
Oh, it starts about to do it, and like we're like, and Spanners just comes in and just like, I updated our DRM protection. Don't even worry about it, boss. Like, we're panicking, and she's just like,
Spanners is like, don't worry, ad block is installed on the 3D printer.
Okay. Does anyone else want to spend those 3 materiel on a quirk for their mech? Or am I good to spend it on Mike?
I'm fine with you doing it, but if someone else wants it, that's cool too. I don't need it. I already have an extra one, and I don't think I'll be pushing it that much.
I suspect I'm going to be pushing quirks a lot next mission. This is not just Mike being a tuner.
I have a thing I want to do. I was going to bring it up after the game and run it through. We've been playing for about 1 million hours, but I had an idea that I was some point was going to run past everybody. The quirk might do something fun with that, but I don't know if you would an additional cow.
Yeah.
We'll say we're spending those 3 material on a quirk, and the camera can see lots of work being done in the workshop, Mike's sweating and all this kind of stuff. We can pin down exactly where that's going.
Yeah, we can reveal that in the mission.
Yeah. So some mech is getting another quirk.
I'll just roll and schmooze quickly if you want.
Yep.
I can roll a consort or something like that. That seems accurate.
Yeah.
It's fucking true and standing stone going to someone.
So you might have heard some rumors.
Yep.
You tried to get Standing Stone to help, but
They've left, haven't they?
he's slightly hard to find.
Oh my god, have they left?
Eventually you find him, but he seems like very flustered, and certainly you haven't seen him around much in general.
Renee, what's going on?
What was your consort? Have you only got 1 dice in consort?
No, I have 2.
Oh, you get assists, so you get to roll another one. Maybe you'll crit.
Well,
Who's assisting?
I don't think anyone is.
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
Okay.
That's why I thought it was True and Renee, but Renee is
Okay.
probably not assisting because Renee is inept. So,
We did get a 6 though, so that's all right.
Yeah.
exactly. I have
3
no idea what the
trusts.
outcomes of Schmooze looks like. Oh, is it 3 trust? Alright, that's pretty good. I'm
It's
at peace with
basically because we lost this from the overindulgence, where it's like, no, we're not all gonna leave after this. It's all fine. Don't worry. Mike's got this plan. Don't worry about it.
that. Exactly.
Alright, the DF is slightly like you, once again.
Yay!
We appreciate your slight support,
Yeah.
your somewhat approval.
The DFS might care if we died.
Alright, is there anything else?
Does anyone else who have healing they want to do?
No, I'm cleared off.
I think I might like to make myself less red if that's possible.
Do it.
This is just going to be, like, I guess, more psychological discussions with Dr. Perfect. And I think Mike is getting over this. Like, I think if I could get an assist from Julius here, Julius is helping talk through the situation, because a lot of the dealing with Slipaway, which is what caused this, was helped by, the situation that Mike had with Julius. When we were able to, to some degree, fight back against Slipaway going through that collapsing underpass and all this kind of business. So it's tier +1/+1 plus assist. Is that right?
Yeah. Julius is hyping Mike up a little bit, but not in a he's just sort of like, Michael, you're one of the most talented pilots I've ever seen in my life. Stop being ridiculous.
But he's in my head. And all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's 5 dice. Is that right?
Yeah, it would be.
Good lord.
That's a 6.
Okay.
That puts 3 ticks in the healing clock, right?
Yeah.
And then the last one would be just to get at least 1 and
Clear
take
off
that down
the-
to a level 1.
Yeah, makes sense.
You might roll a crit and clear it completely.
Yes.
I'll roll it and then we'll see how that goes. That makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly identical roll.
A nearly
That's
identical
law.
roll, still a 6. That is very odd. So, I'm no longer red, but I am unsure?
Shaky?
Yeah, unsure or hesitant. Yeah.
Hesitant. Yeah. I think we do get Mike, like, he's been talked through, it's been a while. Mike's been talked through some of his insecurities a little bit. And he's walking out, it's now dark. It's in the same place where we've seen that terrible, terrible speech go down, all of this trashed merchandise all around us. Mike's still hesitant, but he looks up, sees the shadow of Goliath, makes his fingers like a gun and points towards it. You're next, big boy. Bang.
Thanks for listening to CalazCon. This episode was edited and sound balanced by Christine Blight. You can reach her for voice acting at cvblight@gmail.com. The show's music is by Devin Nelson. You can find them on all social media at Devin Decibel. If you'd like to support CalazCon, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/CalazCon. Please tell your friends about the show too. Remember, all glory to Calazar.